Hi, my name is Joseph Liang, and I go to the University of California, Irvine. I'm a psychology major here, and my natural interest has always been in psychology. However, I've always had the second passion for healthcare, which is why I'm pursuing a career as a physician assistant upon graduating at UCI. Some things I like to do on my free time are intramural sports. I'm really My main sport is basketball, but I also play football and volleyball at intramurals. I'm also really big on lifting weights and being in the gym. Um, Probably out of 7 days out of the week, I'm probably in the gym 5 or 6 days out of the week. So fitness is also a big part of my life. I like to do outdoor activities like hiking, running 5Ks. Over this weekend, I just went snowboarding, so that was cool. Um, even when the summers, Even over the summer or the temperature's right, I like to go to the beach with my friends. Some things I also like to do are reading on my free time. Whenever I have the chance to, I like to pick up a book, learn something new. I mainly read um, science or psychology books. Like right now, I'm reading Brief Answers to Big Questions by Stephen Hawking, which is his last book before he passed away. So I'm really excited on finishing that. And lastly, I love listening to music, or better yet, finding new music. Um, Music has been a great hobby of mine, and which I love. Um, if I were to have one superpower, it would definitely be the ability to read minds. And the reason for that is because I would be able to understand what a person is thinking before they even have to explain to me. So, being a medical scribe, I would, for example, be able to know what a physician wants me to do before he or she has to take the time out to explain to me the instructions or elaborate on what it is the task that needs to be done at hand. And I would know automatically if I could read his or her mind and just get it done. And not only would I be able to do that, but I would possibly even be able to help the patient. And that some patients have a language barrier, or they may be just too shy to be able to speak up and ask the physician to clarify on what their situation is. Um, and I would be able to sense that and maybe pull the physician aside and um, ask him or her to transmit the information again. So I feel like that would be a better aid to their quality of healthcare, which is why I would want this ability if I were to able to have it. Um, my favorite class thus far has been my cognitive neuroscience class, and I've enjoyed this class because it really delved deep into the neuroscience aspect of psychology and it examined different parts of the. I was able to examine different parts of the brain and um, look at the different brain regions and see how they play a responsibility in the way we think, the way we express emotions, the way we behave, and the way we act out. And I was also able to learn how impairments to these regions were can drastically affect our psychology and lead to drastic impairments and disorders such as Alzheimer's, depression, or language impairments. So I thought that was really cool. Um, One thing that I learned that was the most interesting to me was actually in my Earth System Science class. And what we learned was that um, the some of the main causes of global warming and which were um, the effects of the melting of land ice and Arctic ecosystems. Because what I learned was that land ice actually acts as an albedo, which is essentially a reflective system to reflect sun rays and UV rays coming from the sun back into the atmosphere to stabilize the global temperatures. But what is happening is that we're releasing, we're burning fossil fuels and releasing carbon dioxide at such an intense rate that this land ice is melting, which is losing its albedo and essentially causing a positive feedback loop where um, more carbon or more UV rays are being absorbed by the Earth's core, and causing a melting of the land ice, which causes a rise in sea level and causing a rise in the average global temperature. And the reason I thought this was really important is because not many people are aware of this fact, and especially industries where they're burning the most fossil fuels. Um, I feel like they should really be addressed on the rate at which they're burning the fossil fuels, which could potentially put our civilization here on Earth at risk, which is very important for our future. And I thought that was really important. Lastly, what I believe I can bring to the clinical setting is my previous experience working at Kaiser Permanente in San Diego, as well as my volunteer experience with the Flying Samaritans in El Tecate, Mexico. In Kaiser and El Tecate, I learned the communication skills between patients as well as physicians. And I was actually able to work hands on in El Tecate with physicians as a triage assistant. I examined their respiration rates, I took their vitals, I was able to measure their heart rate and body temperatures as well as their symptoms of illness and communicate that to the physician. And I believe that that developed a familiarity with me on how to effectively communicate in a medical setting as well as interact with patients. And that concludes these interview questions. And I thank you for the opportunity and your time. And I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.